The crisis in Southern Kaduna is far from abating.
Attacks and reprisal attacks have claimed the lives of hundreds of people there. Efforts by both the federal and state government to put a stop to senseless killings there have not yielded much results.
Security operatives have been deployed to Southern Kaduna to quell the violence. Traditional rulers are being engaged to mediate between warring communities.
Well, how soon will Nigerians see an end to the crisis in Southern Kaduna that have lasted for decades? This is part of what we'll be talking about right now.
Well, joining us via Skype from Kaduna is Yande Ahmad Meriga, representative of the Hausa Fulani community. Good morning and thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning.
Now, this issue has been on for years now. Talk to us what really is the issue for your community. What is the grounds that they have that you would want the government to address head on? Because there's been diverse information on social media and across, and would like to hear from you what really the issue is.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I make any comment on that, let me correct an impression from your introduction. I don't represent the Hausa Fulani community. Rather, I represent the Fulani community, even though we are all one and the same. The Hausa, the Atiap, and the Fulani are people that God has destined to be there in that place for time immemorial. But for the purpose of this program, I am representing the Fulani people. And to relate back to your question, the whole issue is, wherever mankind, human being exists, right from breeding as children of Adam and Eve, this issue of lead and let live has always been there from all the history books, all the religious books that we have lived in. And conflicts abound wherever two people live. But the ability to be able to identify these problems, the purposes of these conflicts, and to resolve them amicably for life and purposes of why existence must coexist is what is more important. Then in Southern Kaduna, just like every other community everywhere in this world, such a thing has been happening. But the unfortunate situation is, like when it happens in other communities, in this case, in our own, it has been so polarized towards ethnic, religious, and some other personal aggrandizement that people benefit out of such things that will not allow peace to reign. Therefore, the ability to be able to know that, one, by virtue of whoever you are, we are created by God, and that we will live as such and one day return to eternity is what is more important, and that both these two holy books preaches that we should be each other's keepers. These killings, senseless killings, has been going for over decades, getting to almost about 40 years now, unabated. And you see, we, the youth now, that we are small children as at then 30, 40, up to 60 years, we are witnesses to how we were living peacefully in these communities with the three major tribes there, the Atiap, that is Kata, Fulani, and Hausa. And what made this degeneration? When we even claim today that we are more educated, more righteous, we know the holy books very well, we interpret them even in our own languages, what is the problem today? So that is why we said the Atiap, the Fulani, and the Hausa people, we say, look, enough is enough. And God blessed us with a paramount ruler, that is the Agwatiap, Sir Dominic Yahaya, KSL, who has come up with this idea because of his antecedents from people who knew him right from his civil service years. He's a man of his honor, he's a gentleman of honor, and he's somebody who stood by his words.
So what you're saying now, if we get you correctly, is the issues have been identified, and so the framework being put in place will address it holistically.
Certainly, the issues identified are simple, like I've told you, on the tribal, ethnic, and religious aspect. And then another lacuna that keeps rumbling and turning every day is this issue of who is a settler, who is an indigent. We have also identified that by the grace of God, and we are meeting up to various communities. As I speak to you now, we at our own end, we the Fulani, we have gone deep already in trying to sensitize the people that this word peace, it doesn't have any alternative word to peace than peace itself. And we've been going around our communities trying to bring to their attention that this senseless killing cannot go. We must live to believe that one day posterity will judge us, and hoping that posterity judge us positively. and that we must leave for our children and grandchildren, and even those yet unborn, a legacy that once upon a time there was this in Southern Kaduna, but people of like mind stood up and fought it to stand still by coming together and remove all the aspects that create hatred among them, either by whatever reason, and to try to eliminate this issue of settler, indigene, tribe, religion, and everything, and be each other's keepers. That is our intention, and that is where we are going.
All right. At the peace meeting that was held in the instance of the traditional ruler, what resolution were made, and you feel that if they are kept in place and kept in check, peace will return, for years to come?
Yes. You see, beautiful about this question is that I was the person that personally signed that 14-item document in that communique. I signed for the Fulani people. And I want to assure you that by the grace of Almighty God and the support of you, the media, by telling this true story on how it is, by giving every aspect its holistic, support and information that will guide the public itself from what they hear against what they were hearing, we shall succeed. All those items in the 14 points that were written in the communique and signed by us were all issues that geared towards peace. But the major one was the setting up of, as was suggested and accepted, of an integrated commission that will bring all sons and daughters of all these communities, and not only even the Atia Fulani and Hausa people, but other surrounding communities, to come to terms with realities that peace is paramount. The other aspect which generously guide and was so very important to all of us is the issue of, by the grace of God, the communities have agreed that no more attacks, no more reprisals, and there will be no more roadblocks any longer again to stop people from moving, looking for their daily livelihood from all walks of life in the country. And one thing about Southern Kaduna is that Southern Kaduna is central. If you are coming from the east, you will have to pass into maybe Jos or any other part of the country. You will go through Southern Kaduna. So also if you are coming from the southwest, south, etc., and even if you are coming from the far north, going down to all these places again, Southern Kaduna is central. So we are trying to ensure that this time around we'll make it lively, we'll make it peaceful for all Nigerians to come and pass through, to believe that they have passed in a community that was once like Ife Modakeke and have come back to live in peace, so that all Nigerians will say, thank you, Southern Kaduna people.
All right. Yande Ahmad Meiriga, representative of the Fulani community, thank you for your time on the show this morning.
Thank you very much.